way, at least to mid, to maybe take away the rune from Malrine.
Oh, there it is, 10-minute blink dagger.
So early.
On top of this phase boost already, Malrine. He's already been a huge threat across the map. That's only going to continue now.
I think his courier's dead though, right?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
I didn't see where it did die.
Yeah,
so, I mean, a minute where he's not going to be able to bring it unless somebody else brings it out to him. So it could be a little bit of space, perhaps, for Saika to
Crit's got it. Crit's bringing it out.
Crit's bringing it? Okay,
yeah,
I was going to say, that's usually... I've been seeing a couple players doing this when they do lose a courier, and they're going to instantly smoke him, so really clever move. And let's see if they're prepared for it on the side of BBT. Scan comes out, so they're aware of at least GPK's positioning at the moment.
He's going to try and get the opening onto Toronto Tokyo, but a couple of leaps will be enough to save him. Under the tier 2, this might be a bit too much for Falcons to dive. I mean, they may be tempted to dive the tower. We'll see.
He's pretty fragile on the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. Straight away with the epicenter and the burrow. The bushwhack perfectly timed afterwards. Keeps Saika locked down. Another kill on the Wind Ranger.
They might go for
really
Lord.
Holding his game behind. Got the catch, leaps, they're all on cooldown. Toronto Tokyo's got no way to get away from this.
And you can tell Morris practiced that. He did the combo where you instantly use the charge afterwards from the pulverize. No way to react. They're accelerating things quickly. GPK is trying to do almost the same, but look at Falcons responding right away.
coming in. Malrine, he's going to be ready with a blink stun if BB send anyone up to this tier 1 tower. I mean, they're already starting to hold back a little bit, GPK and Mira, because I think they know this is not a safe place for them to try and push on.
I think for BBT, they need to just get this blink dagger on Miro so he can start getting involved, because map is a little bit scary for them at the moment without him. And like you said, he needs to be that tanky force to jump in and start the action. Otherwise, it's a Nature's Prophet TPing in and likely just dying to all those big magic bursts. So definitely needing that blink, but it's giving time for Skater to catch back up. He was the one who was struggling a bit on the side of Falcons, but he is actually ahead of the Wind Ranger now. 2K lead for Falcons.
Yeah, they're, when they start to get the lead at this point, I don't think they themselves will feel under too much pressure to make moves happen. They're happy to farm up on all 3 of their cores.
Absolutely.
They know that it's going to still be quite the recovery needed for Saika after a rough start here. 3 deaths in the early game as the Wind Ranger carry.
That can be pretty brutal when you're playing versus some tanky cores, right? Versus this Sand King and Primal that can just get on top of you. And then you throw an Omni Knight who just makes them even tankier, more durable. See how they address this. Amar, he's also queued up the pipe, so really understanding the damage limits from BBT early on. There's the smoke, so they've got their blink now on the Doom. Can they find anything? Because right now, everybody on Falcons is just split up farming.
They are. They're getting a lot out of the map right now, Falcons. So BBT, when they make these sort of smoke movements, they have to get something good out of it.
Otherwise, it just quickly starts to show in the net worth. It's going to, now up to 3K, it's going to quickly accelerate if they don't find a connection.
At the moment, nobody's down here. Their best effort may be to take the twin gate and try and look for a play up top, but even then, it's only Snaking showing themselves. You see on the map right now, they don't see a lot, BB team. Falcons, whilst they're making as much as they can out of the lanes and the jungles, it's causing it to be incredibly difficult for BB team to find some sort of successful movement. Snaking, they'll just have to maybe settle for it, but even that, off. Yeah, Repel and a TP, they're not even going to get the chance to set up onto a support. Falcons just completely evading the moves from BB team.
Yeah, play the map beautifully. Snaking goes mid. It's the most dangerous position on the map, perhaps, but he's fine with doing that as this Omni Knight. Tends to be the case for Snaking. He does get picked off sometimes, but that's usually their plan. It's tough to get too over-aggressive on BBT because of how early that Sand King blink came out, because of the Primal Beast. They have great ways just to counter-gank any of the BB aggression.
Still got a lot of damage. GPK can kind of get that level 2 in the Wrath of Nature.
Yeah.
He's closing in on the 12. And the Gleipnir. That's going to be the next sort of spot in which that they can look to get him involved. He's going to have a bit of control that's going to help him stop Falcons from getting the jump onto him.
Save. Looking for Snay again. Big Wrath of Nature.
I mean, they may be considering if they can go with the Finger Burst and the Doom. They're going to go for it. Now, the tempo of the game slowed down, so they're happy to drop some ults here to kill off the Omni Knight. And they'll get him. Snaking slowly but surely go down. Gets a few CS on the way out.
There's going to be an instant smoke from Falcons, though. So you get a kill, but it's on a 5 position. It's one of your big spells, probably your biggest one in this game committed. So have to avoid the ganks now from Falcons on the side of BBT.
And they expect that Miro's going to be playing on the top as we see Falcons come through the twin gate.
Yeah, we see Miro, of course, doing the trick. I'll try to point it out when I can, but, selling stuff for Midas, etc. We'll be keeping tabs on him so he can keep that farm going. And they've reestablished at least that net worth a bit. Just from that one kill, things are at least evened out. He's farming very well.
He really is, yeah. Top net worth now on the Prophet. We'll see over towards the mid. Jump spin made over towards Toronto Tokyo, but he's got a leap at the ready. He's out. See if they can continue to play around with Save. Anything to put a stop to this? There isn't, so Save's also away, but Amar does manage to get the grab on Toronto Tokyo. So Falcons finding a kill nonetheless.
Falcons kind of gave them the respect there, though. Even though they didn't have Doom or anything ready, they were a bit cautious how they approached the two supports.
Oh, they might be going for Miro now, though.
Oh, now they see him up top, this Ward 2 spotting him.
Oh, okay. A little bit of a pause, Reno. We're going to see, though, after this, what Crit, he's likely to have to set up onto Miro, and Mallory does have Epicenter.
He looks pretty dead.
If they want to do it safe and sound, they can just set up with the Bushwhack, rev up the Epicenter, get in, and Miro not really having many options to get out of this, and does not have any backup nearby.
No. Unless they mess up their chain stun somehow and he's able to TP in between it. That's probably the only way that Miro is able to play his way out of this one. In the meantime, too, Falcons are pressuring mid. They have a pipe already finished up on Amar, so damage for BBT is a bit limited.
See Miro. Yep. He's going to try and juke around this.
Okay, kind of mean he's still going.
They're going to get him. It's a little sloppy, but a kill's a kill.
Don't need the burrow trick save. Let's find the Hex on Amar, but Amar has 2,000 HP with a pipe.
Yeah, Amar's like, I'll go in. Save, he turns with a quick stun. But yeah, Amar very much showing right now, there's not a lot that he's scared of.
He looks pretty unkillable unless he gets like Doom and Fingered, it feels like. Especially if he has an Omni Knight behind him. This build is going to be very valuable versus the majority of magic damage that BBT has early on. GPK does have the Gleipnir finish. Level 2 Wrath of Nature is online. So let's see if he can make more active stuff happen. And if they want to make more active stuff happen, that is.
No, that's true. I mean, does GPK want to look to fight, or do you think he wants to look to continue to farm and get the BKB before he starts turning up? Because there is a lot of stuns on Falcon.
Yeah, I think the BKBs are going to be pretty necessary versus the Sanking and Primal. I mean, even versus the Lina. It's a lot of magic. It's a lot of just mixed hybrid damage on the side of Falcon, so they might actually have to wait for that. But do you really want to give so much time is the question. I think as we said, as the panel said, as everybody kind of knows throughout this year, you don't want to give time to Falcons. You want to be the ones aggressing and putting pressure on them. Lion save is close to a Blink Dagger as well. That's actually pretty impressive with like how passive the kind of game state has been. So perhaps with that as well, they're going to be able to make another aggressive move.
Yeah, between the Finger Burst and the Doom, I mean, it's not necessarily a guaranteed kill on a lot of these targets because they have so high HP.
Ooh. And also, Malrine does have a shield rune. So even if they throw, let's say, a Doom onto him, if he pops the shield rune post-Doom, could be problematic for him as well. As Miero shows himself for a second, and they're going aggro.
He's going to look for the setup, and Malrine's coming in with the follow-up. Miero, once again, not going to have anybody around to save him as Falcons pick up another freebie across the map.
They're getting so much. Just tough for BBT to make aggressive moves, and yeah, it does feel like it's probably going to have to get those BKBs online. I think Saika, you have to accelerate your BKB. We've seen a lot of these Wind Rangers. As the tournament progressed, it was straight Gleipnir most of the time, but I think the team started to recognize you need to go BKB a little earlier. But he's still not that close either. Those 3 deaths really slowing him down. Toronto Tokyo.
He's pretty deep here.
He's
very
testing
the vision of Falcons. They're going to see him. They don't quite get the opening.
Nope. Those guys
are going to be off the mark. Marian's still able to blink in and try and body block him off. Toronto Tokyo is out at leaps. And that will mean that he is still very dead, despite the initial spells missing from Falcons. It doesn't matter at this point. They can kill these heroes regardless.
Just limited moves. BBT, it's going to have to be waiting for BKB.
Save.
It does feel like it. Save's going to go for a pick.
The opening.
There's an Omni here.
Backups. Whoa. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That happens to the best of us.
I don't think they had him anyway. And now GPK.
Well, no, I mean, that's what Save will tell you. Is like, we weren't going to get him anyway. Well, that was...
Oh, no.
It doesn't look great, folks.
Things are crumbling quick, Owen.
They are first game out here on the main stage, and it may be getting to BBT.
Does feel like it's 3-15. I mean, after the first 5 minutes, right, that was them doing well in lanes, but nothing's gone their way at all after that. Miro spotted bottom. Amar, he's on him.
He is. See if Miro's got a way to play out of this. This time he might be able to escape.
But they also lose Toronto Tokyo in the mid. There's just action everywhere.
I mean, Miro
Doom comes out.
Down the Doom. Snakey's going to be here with a backup. Can they at least kill Amar?
Nope.
They can't. Not even with the 3th, and they have to fall back.
This is rough, Owen.
Yeah, Amar knows this well. He's ready to start throwing some tips out. This game is looking incredibly difficult for BB Team to hold on in.
Yeah, and Amar, they talked about the Primal Beast. It's something that Malrine has played the majority of their games. I know even at the last tournament, when they picked Primal, they actually had them swap, and they played different roles. So
here we go. Maybe they go snaking. He's pretty tanky still.
He's quite tanky.
As a support.
He has a Solar Crest.
Let's see what he wants to do. How many buttons he wants to press whilst he makes them sort of spend a lot of time. They can't even kill him. They can't even get him close to dead.
Oh, and this game is completely fallen out of control. They get GPK as well. Top, there's a Bloodstone on Malrine. Top net worth. They can't even kill the 5 position. Sometimes Falcons, they sacrifice their 5s, their supports, etc. This game, they don't even have to sacrifice them. They're just running away with everything.
And this has got to feel rough for them. You've got to imagine, right? You've been there yourself. When you're on stage, a game happens like this. This is your first game out there. How are you kind of getting the team morale back together after beginning this rough?
It's a good question, especially when you're playing versus your kryptonite of the entire year. You come into this one with an idea, with a plan, and it's just completely fallen apart after the first 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
There we go.
They're going to smoke again.
See what they can get here. Jump onto the side. Save's going to be there with a Hex. There's backup for Skidder.
Here's Skidder.
Race down onto the 2 of them. They'll get the kill. They'll be able to take down Crit.
Malrine, he's healing.
Bloodstone heal indeed. It's keeping him alive. He's over with the Boris.
Oh
double
my
kill
God.
For Malrine. They're going to get GPK as well. Triple kill. They could kill Crit, but I don't think they could kill any other of these heroes on Falcons.
It doesn't feel like... I look at the timings Malrine's hit. He's got Bloodstone Veil, and of course he gets the most OP neutral item he could have possibly got for the scenario too.
My goodness.
The Vampire Fangs. He just sustains through it all. He's up to full HP. Level 18. Oh boy.
We'll see it again. A little sort of split efforts at the beginning on who to go on.
They just don't have the damage at this point. I mean, Malrine, look, he's just soaking all but 3 targets beating on him with the Solar Flare active.
I mean, that's the thing. I feel like GPK TPing in there just gave Malrine more units to lifesteal off.
Perhaps.
He wasn't doing any damage.
Oh, boy. We've seen Doom struggle in quite a bit of these games, especially in this road to TI, but now, I mean, it's not Miero's fault in particular, but the whole lineup in general is just kind of crumbling. 4-21, they're going to lose their Tormentor, too.
Yeah, Falcons just taking everything across the map. It's going to take some sort of comeback. Like, I feel we just don't really see from BB team at this point to turn this one around. It's going to have to be something completely, a complete surprise, something we've never seen before from them. Because now everything is looking up for Falcons.
Because even when now at this point, the fact that the game has gotten so one-sided, when they get these BKBs, yeah, they'll be a little more survivable, but we've seen they just have no damage, and more of these auras are coming out. Primal Beast, we see Amar, he's got the Crimson. You can see Toronto Tokyo's desperate stuff.
Okay. He takes his chance, they get out. Toronto Tokyo, he's just trying to get some sort of vision,
waves.
getting something out on the map, but they kill him again.
They've got no control really of that whatsoever. Like, everyone's just trying to like suicide lanes a little bit, but it kind of just is that at this point, this suiciding. 0-8 on Toronto Tokyo. And I don't think yet this game, I've seen them been able to catch any like arrow setups with the shackle shot or with the sprout or anything. I mean, I know the game accelerated quickly after those first 7 minutes, but they just aren't landing any type of synergy spells, while Falcons, it is landing nicely. And now pushing this tier 2, Amar dropping the flags. And they bought themselves a gem. So on top of already having complete control of the map, now they're looking to take out the little vision that BBT did have. So smooth sailing, it feels like now for Falcons, unless they make some type of crucial mistakes.
I mean, this is the thing as well. I feel like their lineup is pretty resistant to mistakes, right? They've got a lot of, they've got the auras online, they've got a lot of frontline, they've got a lot of ways to dive high ground, they've got a lot of save from snaking. It feels like even the high ground push for this lineup on Falcons is still a point where it's going to be so difficult for BB team to punish.
I look at the HP on these heroes, right? Like, yeah, Malrine doesn't look as tanky because it's only 2200 HP, but he's got 30 armor, he's got that insane sustain that comes out, they've got an Omni behind. They're all very durable at this point, and BBT's damage, it just hasn't really increased too much. As we said, survivability's up, the BKB's up on 2 of the cores, actually about to be up on the 3rd core as well from Miero, but will that be enough damage for them to go through? Just doesn't feel like it.
And who do you even look to go for? When they're sort of holding the defense against the 5-man push, if you're Miero, who are you jumping in and looking as your key Doom target?
At this point, who knows? You probably want the Sand King, but then you have to be careful of the Omni, so maybe some simultaneous initiation while the Omni sees controlled, but at this point now, Snake is just tanky, so you have to keep him controlled the whole time because you're not going to kill him. So I don't know, Owen, because you're also playing into Aegis, it's just complications everywhere.
Yeah, Amar's going to start working on a Lotus as well to throw another sort of problem into the mix here for BB team.
Yeah, they're already ahead of the steps that they need to worry about, like getting these Lincolns and Lotus. They can start doing it if they'd like to, but there's some pretty crazy levels to point out as well. Malrine, we're talking about how flawless his game has been on the Sand King. Level 20 in 24 minutes is pretty crazy. That has to be one of the highest XPs I think I've seen in this tournament.
There we go with the push. BB team, they've got to do something now. Smoke up's there.
Who do you go for? Hey, they gotta go for some type of crazy wraparound, but the positioning, it's already been given up.
They're gonna try.
Malreen's already in his spot to watch the smoke.
Can they make some sort of jump that catches Falcons by surprise? Save. Leading the way, they'll get the vision set up. The smoke will dispel here. Save's gonna jump straight away. They're gonna find Snaking. Can they kill him? Though Malreen is in with the counter play. The two-man.
Miero's gone.
They're fully committing it onto Snaking, but they can't kill him. He pretty much fully heals. They just can't do the damage. Falcons survive. They'll tap
That's
out.
it.
GG
That's
is
over.
called. Falcons dominate game one.
This one was not even close, it felt like. You know, we talked up BBT's early game, talked how sometimes they can get these advantages early on. That didn't happen, Owen. It's going to be back to the drawing board, it feels like a bit for them, as Falcons comes in very prepared today.
Oh, they really do. What a way to start their show here on the main stage, Falcons. And yeah, BB team, I mean, not just a loss, but a rough loss as well. We're going into a series in which, you know, this next game too, they've just never been able to win that in a best of three. They've never been able to take a series against Falcons. In this next game, they're going to have to do something that seemingly and statistically has been impossible for them.
They've got to kick it up a lot more. And, you know, I had a little bit of a question. Is Malreen going to feel the pressure of the main stage? No, he did not. He dominated. And BBT, they definitely felt a bit of that pressure. Let's see what they can do afterwards.
Absolutely. What a showing from Falcons. And as you say, Malreen on his Sand King. Damn. Well, we're going to pass you back over to the panel, see what they have to say about that game one stomp.
Yeah, I don't think he felt the nerves at all for the main stage. If anything, he felt the energy on the main stage and channeled it into an amazing performance on his Sand King and leading his team to victory. Falcons one game up against BB team here in the lower bracket of the international. Let's discuss how this came to be, because we pointed out some issues that BB team might have during this game. And I want to start, Effie. We said it was going to get really difficult for them to shut down the Lina.
And it didn't even have to get to the point where Lina became this unstoppable force within Falcons, because the plan that BB team crafted around their draft of we're just going to use our Furion's global presence, we're going to run down the Lina with Scorched Earth plus Lion, we're going to do that over and over again until she has the game. They didn't even execute that better than Falcons did. This here was the key play in the game. Falcons brought all of their heroes, including Skeeter on Lina, through that twin gate. They brought the numbers and they just overwhelmed BB team here. You do lose your Lina, who already had a rough game prior to this point, but that's the beautiful thing about Falcons. Skeeter does not care if he's sacrificed for the greater good of the team. He doesn't mind dying 2, 3, 4 times so long as the rest of his team can get an advantage.
We did mention the differences between two carries, Saika, aka Nightfall, and Skeeter. Like the twin gate usage that you mentioned, he's always so active, and we can see some of the uncharacteristic mistakes here from Save, the nerves, something that this team always has problem with when they're playing on the big stage. But that also, like, nothing went wrong for them except the first 5 minutes of the game where they had 2k gold lead and then turned it into pretty much a feeding fest. 13-minute smoke from BB team, blink on doom, finger ready. They smoke in a different part of the map. Bottom part, they're behind Saika, who already died 3 times. They're like, we gotta help him out, we gotta find something. They don't find a single kill, so they go back to the top lane. They get the kill there, but I believe that was their last kill in the game.
I mean, I think BB, their last pick was just, you know, atrocious for what they needed. They picked Windrunner, they're picking a carry that's going to be doing the same itemization as the Nature's Prophet. The Nature's Prophet already wasn't really able to play onto the map because you're not going to go TP to a Primal Beast lane, you're going to die there. You're not playing into the Sand King because you've got Sandstorm, you can't really push the tower. And then top lane, there wasn't really many opportunities after the start of the game to go there again. So it's like, you need your carry to either, you know, crush the offlane, crush Amar, don't allow him to be confident, or just farm and scale and not do it. But yeah, Falcons, they read this and they punished it constantly. 0-5-1 on the Windrunner. Malreen popping off 13-0-8 on the Sand King. Like, they identified that BB had no map to play, had no moves to make, and like, sure, Nature's Prophet can be aggressive, but not into these heroes from Falcons.
Yeah, we even saw Falcons make 2-man smokes. The second Malreen on that Sand King gets his Blink Dagger, boom, 2-man smoke, him and crit. Who's the hero they find? The carry, Wind Ranger, behind the tier 2. They go for that play. Who on the side of BB team can mirror a play like that? Are we going to see 2-man smokes coming out of Lion plus Nature's Prophet? isn't happening because your Nature's Prophet is farming, playing recovery. Your Doom is playing on a very long cooldown, and the other support in Mirana fallen out of favor from position 5 for a reason. It just does not provide that much map play without maybe 2 other heroes. So BB team, I think they are their own worst enemies because they BKB TP'd their draft basically with that Wind Ranger pick. They had so many options they could have gone for. They could have countered the Primal Beast with the clock, run the Mirana as a carry. They could have blast picked a mid laner, run the Furion as a safe laner, and tried to counter Primal from the mid lane. But instead, they go for Wind Ranger.
Yeah, there's not a lot more to add. I will say, though, this Sand King was overall first picked in this draft, and I know there's flex potential, so we don't know if it's going to go on the off lane or if it's going to go mid, but I felt the cost that this was a Sand King that regardless of where he went, he did not feel countered at all, or would you contribute that to Malreen's style of play?
It's also about the matchup. This Nature's Prophet in the mid, he doesn't really do much to the Sand King because what he does is he pushes out the waves and he's also farming the jungle at the same time, while Nature's Prophet can't really do that. Also, if you leave the lane, he's going to push your tower as well with the catapult timing. Sand King, this has to be one of the most farmed Sand Kings I've seen.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, I also want to point out the itemization from Amar on the Primal. He goes for Pipe, which is a funny item to get when you're looking at a core of Wind Ranger, Furion, and Doom who does pure damage. But he identified that they don't have damage outside of the supports, which were Lion and Mirana. Most of the early game damage is coming out of the Starfall, coming out of the Finger of Death, coming out of Scorched Earth potentially. And he just countered that with a Pipe, which looked really funny versus that mid and that carry, but it did a great job.
It did do a fantastic job leading Falcons to be 1 game up. As we prepare for game number 2, we are going to see what Slax and Tsunami are up to right now.
Hello,
Life game.
Copenhagen! How we doing out there, fam? Yes, it was early in the morning, but we thought we would celebrate some of these fam in here. In fact, we wanted to find a 5-stack for you here today.
That's right. We just saw an exceptional display of team play from the Falcons, and we wanted to see if that could be replicated here into the crowd. So we found ourselves a 5-stack. Gentlemen, we are so happy to have you in our presence because we want to see if you can match what Falcons have been able to give you, because we got Falcons to actually sign a little handful of Nature's Prophet antlers.
That's right, they signed them. This is just for you. Are you a big Falcons fan?
Yeah, of course.
Name 3 players.
Snaking, Skeeter, Crit.
Yeah, okay, that works. All right,
He's
real
a
Falcons
believer.
fan.
All right.
Now, I also don't believe that they're a 5-stack, but...
Don't break the 4th wall.
I'm not. I'm breaking it. Do you know any of these people's names?
No.
Oh, there are you animals!
Spoken like
Come
a
on!
true carry player, because are you not a carry player?
I'm a +1 player.
All
Plus
right!
1 player. He doesn't need to know the rest of his team.
Absolutely, I agree. Give him the Skeeter. Give him the Skeeter.
You have the Skeeter.
Oh, I
Give
have
him
the
the
Skeeter.
Skeeter.
Here's your Skeeter. You are just as attentive as the real Skeeter. Thank you so much.
Now, who's the real 5 position around here? Of course, the most courteous of them all, my friend. Now, when you're out here trying to support these people who don't even know your name, what's your position? You handle it okay?
Yeah, I don't know, but I keep buying the wards, and the best update for me was that wards became free.
Yeah.
Free couriers also? No flying couriers? So you've been playing Dota for a while, right?
Yeah, for about... Yeah, since Dota 1, actually.
Let's go! In that case,
right.
you have very well earned yourself a snaking antler. Can you pick that one out of the bottom of my hands?
That's the dependable player. Well
Exactly.
done, the dependable one. All right, which one of you is the asshole? I got ATF here. You! All right, fantastic. What's your name, sir?
What?
Huh? What do you play?
I play mostly Slaughter and a little bit of Noise. Post free.
Oh, a position?
Post free.
Oh, of course. Yeah, there you go. Enjoy, asshole.
He fits right in.
All right, fantastic.
All right, now which one of you is the quiet type? Because I'm looking for a crit. I'm looking for a forward position.
Oh.
It's gotta be you. Now, you said that you were advocating for Falcons. You know their names. So, where are you rooting for crit? How long have you been watching crit and all of competitive Dota?
Well, since Squid played on OG. So, big fan. And Danish Viking, of course.
Any love for Danish Dota in the crowd, my friends? We're in Copenhagen. Have yourself a crit antler then. Enjoy.
There we go. And the last one you have.
That's right. I couldn't make it out. Oh, wait. I stole the snaking
Yeah,
one.
that's a snake.
My bad. Wait. Here, I traded back.
Give us that back! You don't deserve that.
Listen, Maureen writes like as young as he is. So
That's
I
right.
mean,
That's some brain rot right there. That's intense.
Who's the
Our
mid
last
laner?
guy right there. Are you the mid laner, sir?
Yes, I am.
Name a mid lane hero that you play.
Puck.
Okay, he's a mid laner. Give it to him. Fantastic.
Enjoy, my friend, enjoy.
And we
Last
do have one more. We have Owie 2000. Oh, you're a coach.
Yellow coached him.
All right, we're just lying all over the place. I'll give that to you. Why not? Fantastic. Thank you so much. The crowd is hyped. Gentlemen, enjoy your signed antlers.
I have one last question.
Oh, a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was wondering, when does OG play?
Oh, that's very funny. That's very good. Enjoy those DMs from Seb, sir, for the rest of the day. And we'll throw it back to our panel. Thank you so much, everybody. Back to you, Shiva.
Oh, I think it's gonna have to do with the energy that Thompson and Crit bring to this year's international as former OG players. But Crit's doing very well here in this first game. We also have a little bit of a change up in the panel right now as Lacoste has taken exit to make space for none other than Gunnar. Hey Gunnar, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good.
I am sorry to see you here on the panel and not playing, but I'm also very happy to see you here on the panel.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch that first game. I thought Betboom is one of the really fast teams, and then watching Falcons kind of just crush them. And this 8-minute team fight was really nice to watch. No bias.
No bias at all from the panel. Why do you think it is that BB team consistently have never been able to take a series of Falcons? What is the big thing that makes it incapable for them?
I think Betboom is a little static of a team, BB team. And Falcons usually brings their heroes a lot more than they do using the gates. Like Skeeter loves using gates. And BB team doesn't really use them that much. So I think when they got outnumbered in that one really big fight, it kind of turns the whole game around. And once you're behind versus Falcons, they keep running at you and pressuring you, and they don't really give you any space.
And you feel that maybe game number 2, BB team has got different things in mind because you know the squad very well. So do you feel like they can bounce back?
Yeah, I think it was kind of hero related. They picked Doom, which hasn't been doing good this tournament. And then I think giving away Sand King to Falcons is kind of their bread and butter. They play it only on mid. They don't really do this offlane, and I think they also picked, assuming it was an offlane Sand King with the Windrunner, so I wasn't really too big of a fan of how the draft played out for them.
Yeah, it did not play out very well. So let's focus our attention on this upcoming game number 2, because T-Gov, changes are needed. And you mentioned earlier that we know that the BB team has never taken a series off of Falcons, but we do know that they have tied in series, and that normally it is game 2 where BB team takes that tie.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is one of those moments where they are going to have to look at, you said the Doom, like, this is not a hero that Falcons would rush towards. They failed against Tundra picking Doom, so this could have easily been a series where the hero could have got ignored. But they rushed for it, and I kind of feel like when you have players like Amar, Ramses, ATF, like these type of offlaners with the greed, put them on the greed that plays into the map in the first 20. Doom's a little bit more static, where it's like, I want to farm my Midas or my Aura, and then sure you get a blink in like the difficult games, but there were so many different options in this draft, and I think they got a little bit too excited to rush towards what was available rather than the bigger picture. And if they don't do that in the second draft, then I think they'll have a much better chance at least taking the fight to them.
Yeah, a lot of teams gravitate towards Doom versus Sand King because his Doom is a Bloodstone counter, which is one of Sand King's big power spikes, but that just hasn't played out this TI. And the reason why is when you're looking at Doom, this is a very high cooldown ultimate. He doesn't provide like a blink stun the way that Sand King does, or Centaur potentially. So when you end up playing into Sand King, you think that you counter him, but map play, Sand King completely counters Doom because he's not playing on the same cooldowns. He's not dependent on Epicenter to get kills or run around the map with his supports. We saw Malrine constantly running around